Tramore, famous for its 5 kilometres of sandy beaches, a favourite holiday destination for generations, and now a dormitory town for nearby Waterford city. Its resident population of 10,000 swells to 35,000 in the summer, with up to 50,000 visitors some sunny weekends.
Tramore, or as it is in Irish, Tramore, the big strand. It's Waterford and indeed Munster's premier tourist resort, we believe.
Well, obviously everybody knows Tramore is a major national tourism destination and one we have to protect. And we're also trying to develop for the residents as well business opportunities. So we're conscious we need balanced development, not an overemphasis on tourism. I think everybody in the community agrees with that.
Phase 1 of the Tramore Sewerage scheme began with the construction of a pumping station. Great care was taken to design a building sympathetic to its location at the end of the promenade. Work commenced on the wastewater treatment plant site in January 2006, and the plant commenced accepting sewage from Tramore in August 2007. ABV, a consortium of contractors Ascon, Bowen Water Technology and Veolia, will operate the plant for 20 years on behalf of Waterford County Council.
There's a major pumping station down on the promenade. It pumps from there up to the inlet of the treatment plant. The initial phases are to remove grit and fats and oil which would emanate from maybe food premises. It then enters into the aeration system. I suppose in layman's language, the aeration system injects air into the sewage, and in the presence of that air, the bacteria start acting on the sewage to break it down and render it harmless. It goes then from the aeration system into the settling tanks, where the liquid fraction is separated from the solid fraction. The liquid fraction is what goes out to sea, essentially, and the volume and quality, etc., is measured.
The plant design was required to comply with stringent quality criteria set out under the environmental impact statement prepared for the project.
Every day we have samples of the inlet water which coming into the plant and the final effluent which are collected daily. We do suspended solid, BOD, COD, ammonia, total nitrogen, nitrate, nitrite and autophosphate analysis here in the lab. We also take a sample of the MLHS, the aeration lane 1 and 2, and also the RAS. We check for the percentage dry solid. We also take a sample of the sludge coming out of the centrifuge for the dry solid again.
The plant is capable of accepting 13.5 million litres of wastewater per day. It is designed to produce a final effluent of less than 125 milligrams per litre chemical oxygen demand, 20 milligrams per litre biological oxygen demand, and 30 milligrams per litre suspended solids, all in compliance with the EU Urban Wastewater Directive of 1991 and the Certified Environmental Impact Statement.
The quality of the plant at the various stages is measured ongoing. There's what's called a SCADA system, telemetry system that operates all aspects of the plant, and if that has alarms, if anything goes wrong, an alarm goes off, or if the treatment process needs adjustment, the SCADA system will automatically adjust the aerators to give it more oxygen or less oxygen, etc., as the case may be.
Protection of the surrounding environment, particularly the original site of Tramore Racecourse, was central to the design and operation of the system.
The other thing, I suppose, about Tramore, we have an area out the back of the plant here known as the back strand. It's an area of high ecological and European designation indeed, and we also wanted to ensure that that was protected. You know, the environment was always the paramount criterion which we were focused on. There is an odour treatment plant laid on in parallel to make sure that no odours emanate. That was one of the conditions in the original Minister's approval to the environmental impact statement that was carried out for the plant. To date we've had no complaints from any of our neighbours. The discharge point is 2 kilometres out the middle of the centre of the bay. Originally it was envisaged to have a much closer outfall. Going back in time, Tramore had a series of outfalls, and in the 60s they were all collected into one, which is quite close to here. But as the town expanded eastwards and the promenade was expanded, the need to move the outfall away from the bathing area was envisaged, and that went on in parallel with the treatment plant itself, the outfall point. So after a lot of studies of water quality and the effect it would have on water quality, the final outcome was a 2 kilometre long outfall right out the centre of the bay, and the net consequence of that would be pristine bathing water quality.
I think Tramore has proven over the years its versatility. It's clearly not just a summer town. It's a major tourism place to go, but tourism is expanding. There's golf courses, there's adventure sports, there's many other things there. And equally in line with that and complementary to it will be our business and retail park, 2 major retail stores, and hopefully we can grow that aspect of Tramore development significantly into the future. It will take time, but progress made slowly and well designed and done well, I think is the dividend Tramore deserves and expects at this stage.
Tramore's bread and butter is the Strand and the bathing area, and Waterford County Council's brief to the consultants and its focus at all times was to ensure that the bathing water quality was not just protected but enhanced, and that is now happening. We expect to get the blue flag back next year as a consequence of that.
And it creates confidence in the tourism package in Tramore that the environment has now been improved significantly. And I think the local community deserve that as well, and we must never forget the local community when we look at a community that creates business for the South East and indeed Ireland generally.
As a result of this €22 million investment, the water quality in Tramore Bay now exceeds EU and national water bathing standards. The return of the blue flag is expected. Untreated sewage is no longer discharged into the bay. The domestic, commercial and industrial needs of Tramore are catered for into the future, and the natural amenities and environment have been preserved and maintained.